Yeah, can you believe that? He's my cousin.
That looks great.
Say hi, everyone. We are live. So say hi to everyone who's unable to be a presenter here today. So hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Team Changemakers. Woo! So on the line right now we have Susie and Jamie and Carrie, and I'm sure others are going to be popping in here soon as they check their emails and and join us live. And thank you for bearing with me, as this is the first time I'm hosting a Google Hangout with other presenters, which was not as intuitive as it seems like it would be to figure out.
No, I've tried a couple times and it's hard.
Oh yeah, I finally obviously figured it out, but hopefully we'll see other people on here as well soon. Melissa I have not seen yet, and so yeah, but congratulations to all you guys who are team leads. This is very exciting, and I actually, I'll say this a few times throughout our time tonight. I'm actually looking for volunteers to be the co-lead on the strategy team and also the creation team. So right now we have the amazing Emily Ann Peterson as one of the leads on the creation team, the creative team, because that woman with her songs is incredible, and she wants to create little graphics and things like that to send out. So that's really exciting. So if anybody else that is already on the creation team wants to get creative and work with Emily to produce some creative content that we can then blast out later, I'm looking for volunteers for that. And that, again, if you want to be commenting in the chat on the Facebook page, if you want to, post your comments there and join as the co-lead on that there, volunteer for that there, that would be great. And then also the strategy team, the lovely Allison, who is not here right now, she's on her way, I'm sure, but she's one of the leads on the strategy team, and that's going to be a really exciting team as well. So I think that's a pretty strong team. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. But if you're called to be a co-lead on the strategy team to strategize the entire launch, then I would invite you to that as well. So we have Amber here now too. Hey, Amber. Hi. And Cindy. Yay! Hi, Leslie.
Look at that.
Yay!
How exciting.
Team Changemakers. All right, cheerleader. Say hi, cheerleader.
So awesome. Hi! So good to see everybody's faces. Oh my goodness.
Like seeing how faces look when they talk.
I agree, yes.
I know you guys have all seen my face way too much.
Yes, we do. It's
Never.
a beautiful face.
Oh,
I like seeing
that's
your
amazing.
faces animated. This is great.
Yay.
Awesome. So, so Wendy's commenting. I'm going to kind of, Allison's getting an error message, and Allison's watching. So she's watching. Woohoo! Oh, Emily didn't get an invite. Oh, Melissa is helping out. Yay, Melissa's helping out on the back end. There's a lot to navigate, kind of solo here, like going back and forth. All right, well, so Melissa, if you can hear me, if you want to jump on the call at any time and, help lead from this end as well, you're welcome to. Mention me in a comment. Thanks again. As I said, I want to kick off the meeting full throttle at about 6:15 because I know it's going to take a few minutes to get everybody on. So,
Sounds good.
all right, so let's do this. While I am trying to get everybody else on and everybody send the link out to more people and things like that, why don't we just kind of go around the room here and just take a second to what I want to hear about from each of you?
Yes.
I want to hear from each of you, and I'll have a recording of this too. So I'll be semi-distracted, but I will definitely be listening as well. I want to hear from each of you how you feel like I and we as a group could best serve you in your personal mission here on earth, and as a part of Team Changemakers, and with your book, and with your business, or with any of the amazing ways. You guys are all amazing. So go ahead and take some turns. Actually, I'd love for Jamie to kick us off.
I knew you were going to say that. So I will just say that part of becoming a coach was kind of fun and funny at the same time, because I told Chandler on our master call that I was going to be a coach for SBS, and he kind of laughed at me, and I was like, whatever. So one of the things I noticed as I became a coach was that my confidence level in becoming more comfortable with the marketing piece was significant, because that was the piece I think I had the hardest time with, and he knew that. And also, the technology is not my forte. I'm not Angie. I'm a writer. I'm a writer. I'm an editor. I'm a creative, like whatever. I'm a teacher. So all the other stuff. And this really helps because it breaks down, I think, the process in a very different way. It's very internal, and it comes from people who have gone through it more than once. And so that's helping me understand better for the next book that I am kind of starting right now, but also just understanding where other people's perspectives are, and also seeing different ideas come through. So on a personal level, Emily, like I was thinking about this earlier, your book is so interesting to me because it resonated on so many deep levels, because over the past, I would say, since 2009, so the past 7 years or so, I've really worked deeply on that part of my life in terms of relationships. And I know you know some of it, but there's definitely some amazing growth at this point.
We've got a beautiful freeze frame of Jamie right there.
And my exciting
There she is.
just having that reflection.
Awesome.
Hi, can you hear me?
You're back, and there's Emily. Hi, Emily. Yeah, Jamie, you froze for a second there, but that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that and for reflecting it back, also in relationship to my book. That was kind of awesome.
Yeah, no, that's the important part. My computer freezes sometimes on these Google Hangouts, so I apologize if I'm not responding.
We gotta get a good freeze frame thing going. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Jamie. Carrie, I want to hear from you. How do you feel like Team Changemakers and me, myself, can best serve you in your journey as a king and queen maker?
Oh, well, let's see. Hi, everyone. It's crazy to actually be on a live call like this. My first time, and so I'm really excited. Wow. So yeah, I think for me, I just love people, right? And so I think the hardest for me was the realization that as we proceed, after you write a book, now it's all about, and I don't like using the term, but it's upselling. And so I'm not very comfortable with that personally. I just love to share myself, and then I had some hesitation moving forward on reminding people to help leave reviews, and I'm not good with that kind of stuff. So I think with your guys what I realized through SPS was that at the end of it all, after my book had launched and everything, I had just as many reviews from my SPS community as from my friends, and so I just really truly realized the value of such a powerful community as this. And so I just wanted to just kind of piggyback off that energy and do the same. And so I'm just really blessed. You guys have already done so much to help me, and so I wish I could do the same for everybody here. So I'm really excited. So thank you so much for. I think I'm the only guy in this group too. So I'm respecting it a lot.
You're the only guy in a few of my groups.
I know. I'm not used to that, you guys, but I'm excited. But I'm very excited, and it's definitely out of my comfort zone. So it really stretches me to be a better person. So thank you for the opportunity to all of you. Yeah.
Yeah. So right now you are queen makers.
Queen maker. Yeah. There you go. Exactly.
That's lovely.
Anything I could do to help for everybody.
Yeah, we're so grateful you're here holding down the male energy, and there are of course other males in Team Changemakers, but as far as team leads go, yeah, you're definitely. I honestly didn't even think of that. I was just like, who's about to grab life by the horns here. Yeah. So Jamie just let me know her computer froze. So she bailed for a second there. All right, Amber, I would love to hear a little bit about how we can best serve you as a team here, and a little bit about how I could best serve you personally in this journey.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. I'm super excited to be here and talking to you. Oh, this is so much fun. Yay. I think for me, the thing that I benefit the most from you personally, Emily, is your high vibration, the way that you just live life with such joy and enthusiasm and bring that into everything you do. And I just absolutely love and admire that. And as far as the group as a whole, I like the word magic, and I think this is really magical energy that we're experiencing with each other to be able to lift and benefit one another. And I feel like that it's like a cyclical thing. It makes me think of that infinity symbol, that we're benefiting one another through this experience. We got a new hi, and I love that that energy that we're bringing into each other, that we're able to benefit mutually as we go through it. I think for me, the thing that I'm most excited about to benefit personally is just riding that wave of momentum with everyone that's in this group and seeing the camaraderie and being able to build and grow together. So I guess that's pretty much my main thing that I'm excited to get from this.
Beautiful. That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you, and thank you for your kind words as well. Super sweet. So the lovely Melissa has joined us, and Allison has joined us, and we are piling on the incredibly, mind-blowingly awesome people into the group. Oh, and Teresa Duke is here, although no image yet. Although when you do see an image of this woman, hopefully we can see her kitty cats too, because those are pretty cool. I love knowing some of you already so personally. So we want to, I know that right now, okay, so I want to just take a minute to say one thing real quick here. I would like to, again, have this time be a meet and greet, a Q&A. So I would like to leave a little bit of space for any questions and some strategic talk as well. I want to honor people's time. I did say this would be about a 30-minute call, and since we were starting about 6:15, I'm hoping we can end around 6:45. That'll be our goal. If you need to hop off sooner, I totally understand. If you want to stick around a little later, we can play it by ear like that. The other thing I really want to mention for anybody listening that is not actually right here as a presenter as well right now is that I talked to Angie after she noticed that I couldn't have more than 10 people on this call as presenters. I talked to Angie, and she's going to have
Hey, Melissa, can you turn your microphone off?
Yeah, actually, everybody, if you could all mute yourselves for now, that would be awesome. And then as we have speakers come up, we'll have you go ahead and unmute. Just because, yeah, there's some little background noise. All right, let's try this. Oh, beautiful. There we go. So next time, we're going to have everyone live on the call. I'm going to use a different system so that we can all be here face-to-face rather than having some people just in the chat room. And I think that'll be really fun. And also the next time, we'll have a little bit more structure to it as well. I wanted to just leave this one a little bit more open-ended for a little bit of a meet and greet and some Q&A, and just to get this awesome momentum going that we're about to be creating here as Team Changemakers. It's very exciting. And Wendy's in the house. Woo-hoo! Wendy, oh yeah. Awesome. So let's do this. I really do want to hear from each and every one of you. So we have a handful of people more to get through right here. So let's go ahead and keep it to like 1 to 2 minutes each. And I want to just, I'm going to have Cindy go next. Cindy, will you go ahead and tell us how Team Changemakers can best serve you in your personal journey, and how I can best serve you in your personal journey here? And Cindy, you look like tan or something, and you're muted still, so you got to unmute yourself. But you're like glowing, or you're red, or you're burned, or something. You're still muted. I wonder if I can unmute you. Oh, I can put you in the screen. Can I unmute you? I cannot unmute you. You have to unmute yourself. You can go to the top of your screen, and there's a little mic button there. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, while you figure out your mute button, let's go ahead, and I'd love to hear from Melissa, actually. Yeah, Melissa, how can Team Changemakers serve you, and how can I best serve you?
I think many of you are because you're on my launch team. So otherwise than that, that's my main focus other than this group. And for me, one of the main reasons I decided to take this on at the same time I'm getting ready to launch my book is because I was just kind of getting overwhelmed, and I figured the best way to get myself back to baseline was to not concentrate on me and concentrate on something else, and then then my book doesn't become about me, it's just my work again, and it keeps me focused. So I think most of you are on my launch team, so that's perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'm so grateful for you, Melissa, with everything you're doing. Wow, what a helpful person. Oh my gosh, my mind is blown. Thank you for rallying everybody and for standing behind me in this and helping me create a structure that makes sense, since I am creative type, free flowing. Yeah, I appreciate it. Susie's also been integral so far in getting some of this. Oh, good, Cindy's ready too. So let's hear from Susie real quick here, and then we'll jump over to Cindy.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm fairly new to all of this. I've been with the SPS now for probably since December. So what I really saw this, I really wanted to help out with some of the skills I have, which is the process improvement. I mean, I've worked in IT for almost 30 years, but I've written a couple books myself, but they've been published through more traditional means and not through, like self-publishing like you guys are doing. So what I kind of need is, and what I love is Emily, your attitude, your spunkiness, and all those kind of things. And I have to tell you, you look exactly and act exactly like my my previous daughter-in-law. She's no longer my daughter-in-law. Not that that means anything, but you're identical, and I just love you already. Just met you, but so that I see where that's really going to help me a lot in keeping my own attitude, and because what I work on now is a lot of the social issue kinds of things that I've been through as a child and as an adult to try to help other people. So they're really tough topics to get through. So the attitude's really going to help me a lot. And the other thing is what I can get from the other Changemakers is, again, the launch process, because, again, I've not launched yet. So I've been joining every launch team that I can, and trying to support everybody and to learn and to help them out. So, hoping to learn from others on the launch process itself. So I'm just glad to be here.
So grateful to have you. Thank you for sharing. And I like the word spunky. I'll take it. I'll take spunky. Thank you, seriously, for sharing that. And thank you for all your help so far with, so if you don't know, Susie has been setting up interviews with people like Mimi Emmanuel, who has been writing books on launches, and Barry Watson, I don't know, some of you probably recognize that name, Jamie, hey Jamie, awesome. Barry Watson is also, he's got his own Facebook group going and things like that, and Sean Sumner, obviously you all know Sean. So Susie's been doing interviews with these people around like their strategies for their relaunches and stuff. So basically we're trying to do some recon into what other people have done, so we're not just kind of like, batting around blindly here. We've got a little bit of strategy going, and obviously much more to come, thanks to Melissa and Susie and the rest of you on the research team and the rest of you on every other team, because we are going to rock this thing and so many other things thereafter. So awesome. Wendy, talk to me, girl. Talk about an experienced person over here. Wendy has definitely been through her launch and been through it, and oh my gosh, such an amazing part of our community. Thank you for being here, Wendy.
Yeah, thank you. I was really excited when you proposed this group, and I don't know, I don't have many words to say other than like I'm really, really excited to be here, and I feel like what I can offer the group is I know a lot about social media, but I also don't know a lot about social media. So I'm in this really high-powered mastermind group of learning all kinds of stuff about strategy and planning and all that. So that's what I'm bringing to the group, is some of this really incredible knowledge that I have acquired over the last year and a half. And then obviously I'm writing my second book, so I can use help with launching my second book. And this summer I plan on doing both books in audio. So
Cool.
I just love the energy of SBS, and this as an offshoot of this, and you know, we all kind of know each other on different levels. It's just really exciting to me. It's like a Facebook group that works, and it's high energy. It vibrates really well. People are really sincere and authentic, and that's what I love.
Awesome. So, awesome. And if you guys don't know it, Wendy's books are really amazing. She's a pet grief, helps people with grieving and processing pet loss, and it's so important. I'm really grateful for what you do for people. And I realized that Cindy is ready to go, so I would love to hear from Cindy. Cindy, are you burned, or are you just red? Like, what is going on?
No, I think I'm just excited to be on this call.
Yay!
I just have see-through skin. I don't know. I'm just really excited. So yeah, I don't know exactly what to say that I need help with, except for, you know, I'm about 2.5 weeks after my launch, and it's just been interesting to me, the roller coaster of, you know, when you're number one in the free store, and then, you know, you go 1 week at number 6 in the paid store, and now I'm like number 36,000, and I'm like, Carrie, like, I don't want to keep asking my friends, hey, will you download my book, and hey, will you please review my book? So I'm just trying to be me and just kind of be more organic, and like not look at those numbers of what number I'm in on the store, and just think of how I can help people. And so I'm just helping people one at a time, and giving my books signed to all these different friends of mine, and enjoying how they are all coming up to me telling me how my book is helping a friend of theirs with you know, go for a better job, or go back to school, or deal with some infertility issues. And so I'm just kind of riding this post-launch wave where everything's kind of at a lull in the Amazon store, but everything's really high with how excited I am with how my message is reaching people. And I'm just trying to be very genuine and just love on people the way that I've always loved on people.
That is awesome. I love the loving on people thing. That's so great. Your book, I mean, okay, so, and people probably don't know this here, but my first call with Cindy, she made me cry. Like, I never cried on a coaching call, with an SPS coaching call before, like how moved. No, she didn't make me cry like she was mean to me or anything like that. She didn't like come down on me or anything. No, it was her story was just so powerful. She's telling me, those of you here who have been that I've been the coach for, that I've been so blessed to be a coach of, you know, I start off the call with just like, tell me about your book idea, let me know, get to know you a little bit. And so she's telling me about her book idea, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh my gosh, and I just like lost it. I was like, oh my god, this is so powerful, so amazing. So yeah, really, really powerful story about, you know, she's an Iron Woman. I'm Iron Man. You know, she's an Iron Man, Iron Woman. I like to say Iron Woman, but I think you okay with that?
You can say either one.
Yeah, and just like having tried and gotten, like, you know, this what was it called? The not the
DNF, did not finish.
Right, and then like going, oh, you know, like worked so hard for it, and almost giving up, and then just being like, no, I got this, you know, and doing it again, and just the triumphant story. Oh my gosh, I was like, oh, this is amazing. So I'm so grateful that you're sharing your story with the world, because it's really powerful. And yeah, I mean,
thank you.
Yeah, and the way that, you know, we'll be able to help you and so many others here, obviously Wendy and everyone is through the process of understanding what it takes to relaunch a book successfully. You guys all have first access, obviously, to that information before anyone else in the world. And so that'll be really exciting. And also, I know a handful of you on here also, want to get into speaking and stuff like that, or even if you don't want to, Cindy, are being called to, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
So, and this part of this, one of the main reasons I want to do this, other than the relaunch, this is why this is a multi-purpose group, is so that we can all build relationship here together, understand what each of us are here to do, how we're here to serve, what our purposes are, so that we can build the relationships and help each other in our businesses, in our passions, and in our purposes. So that's why we're doing this here, so we can support each other in that way and really grow a real deep support system community. Yeah, something with a lot of depth, which obviously I don't really say because you all know, because you're all here and experiencing it, and it's awesome already because you guys are amazing. So, all right, so we've got Emily and Allison to hear from. Emily, why don't you go next, and we'll have Allison finish us off here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yay! So, my name is Emily Ann Peterson, and I have not finished my book yet.
And you're adorable. You are so
thank
adorable, by the way.
I feel like the 30-second version of my story is that I was a full-time cello player, and I was diagnosed with an essential tremor in my right hand, my bow hand, about 3 years ago. And so the last 3 years have been a serious pivot for me career-wise. And so I've been leaning more on my business consulting and marketing skills, which is what my degree is in. But I am also, my real passion is music, so I am a musician. And some of you have seen, I also do songwriting, so so that's kind of what I do, is I like music, business, marketing, all that good stuff. And the current working title of my book, which Emily, the other Emily, helped with, is it's still to be determined, or it's not a total final thing, but it is When Rainbows Die and Unicorns Fart. How to find creative courage when shit hits the fan.
Yeah, I came up with that.
Yeah, it was pretty good. But it's kind of a polarizing thing, because I've noticed some people are like, no, I don't really care for that. But other people are like, yes, give me the book.
When rainbows die and unicorns fart? What?
My only hesitation, though, you guys will get a kick out of this, is doing interviews as a musician later and having somebody go, so Emily, tell me about your book, When Rainbows Die and Unicorns Fart. So I don't know quite yet, but it is my favorite title in the running right now. And I'm in my post first edit revisions right now, so.
The reason I like it so much is just because, obviously it's going to catch some attention. It's going to be we're going to on Amazon, they're going to see it, and I think it could go viral just by the name alone. And it also kind of speaks to that whole, when shit hits the fan, everything is what? Unicorns and rainbows and, puppies and shit. That's such a phrase people say. Everything is all this, so what happens, and it was obviously.
And that definitely comes through in the book. I definitely have this kind of no nonsense, cut the BS, let's talk serious here. So yeah.
Right, and that's all. Because it came from your work anyway that I pulled those little phrases from, and that is one thing that I suggest when you're titling your book, is to match your book title language to the language that you use in your book. Right. Because if you're all sassy in your book and then your title is ascend your transcend your issues, and then somebody reads your book, they're gonna be like, whoa, it's quite a different voice there. So
totally.
Anyway, we can talk SPS stuff later, but thank you.
I'm really excited about being in this group because I know that all of you guys have gone through all this, and in the music scene, you always make friends with other musicians and like use each other and lean on each other for support, and it's nice to have that in the book world. So I'm happy to be part of it.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for being here. Very excited to have your talent in the group here. So, Wendy?
Oh, Emily, can we just see the back of your hair?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
You can if you want. Oh, very cool. And you too, both Emilys. I gotta
Oh, that's funny.
Well, actually, we kind of both have these like spunky haircuts, right?
Yeah, very cool.
You don't want to see the back of my hair right now.
Sorry, guys. I was just.
Emily's haircut's cooler for sure. All right, Allison. So let's hear from you, and then we'll move on to any questions anybody has, or also, yeah, go ahead, Allison.
Hey, everybody. I have running hair right now, so I apologize for that, but Cindy will appreciate it. You know what I mean when you have running hair. Hey, thanks for letting me be on. The odd thing is, as I say, I'm the shy one, and I am, but I do presentations all the time. I mean, like, all the time. So, but when it comes to this kind of intimate group, I'm a little bit, I'd rather hang back and just listen. But I'm in the middle of my launch. The free period starts on Sunday, and things seem to be going well. Thank you very much. Emily was my coach, and she helped me through some fits and starts around my cover and the subtitle, because I'm crap for that. The other Emily, I totally voted for the whole farting thing. I thought that was like really awesome, the unicorns and the farting, and I thought that was like rock on, because my world is more in startup and fundraising and things like that, and so I like it when you take something that, you know, the unicorns have been so popular in the media at the moment, and you just kind of, you know, douse it with a bunch of reality. I thought that was pretty awesome. So what I'm curious about is I have a little bit of a reputation, I guess, for being an investigator and an experimenter, and so I'm, for a while now, been really interested in the power of community and the gig economy, and how we can couple that with, in very unconventional ways, with different platforms. For example, I don't know if you guys have thought about this, but I mean, we're all volunteering our time, which is great, but we could always experiment with the relaunch and do a crowdfunding campaign. I was the project manager and creative director for a successful crowdfunding campaign that ended in February, and it was quite an experience. I'm not saying I'm signing up, but I think that we could do some really interesting things around the community in terms of leveraging these unusual platforms in the gig economy. We're already using the gig. We're using the gig economy now, right? We use Fiverr, we're using Upwork, we're using all kinds of things, but then we're also doing a little bit of bartering and sharing in terms of our respective talents and experiences. So anyway, I'm done talking. Thanks. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Allison. And so Allison is right now the solo lead on the strategy team. And you can see why, right? Yeah. So, and Emily said that Allison, I didn't know if you saw these comments as you were talking, but Emily said that she's getting ready to launch her next album's pre-order campaign, so she's into it. And Melissa wants your book link so she can download and review. And what I would say is to when you're ready to have people, Allison, go and review your book, definitely put it in that thread on the group, because you know what, I kind of love that thread, because even if we like missed being on each other's launch teams, you know, it's like all of a sudden there's this other little tiny community that we've got going where it's like bomb the book with some reviews, you know. It's great.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll definitely pop that in there. And this has been a long journey. I've had a series of startups that I've been involved in, and off and on I've been working on this bloody book, and so finally it's done and it's out there, and I will hold this up. This is my next book already. So I've begun the research. I talked to Catherine Jones, rockin' awesome writing partner, who just blew it out of the water with her launch. I was talking with her today, and she was like, "Oh my God, you've already started this." So yeah, it's great to be here. So I will do that. Thank you.
Awesome, and I know Catherine mentioned she is down to lend a hand with the strategy as well. She's in that group too. So yeah, and so again, I do want to invite the others that are listening in on this call. If you feel compelled to co-lead the creative team with Emily and Peterson here, or the strategy team with Allison, I would invite you to write that in the thread that we have going right here, right now. And on that note, let me get back to that thread real quick, because before we move on, I want to mention that Teresa just put some voice to some other comments that we've gotten. So while everyone here has been introducing themselves, Teresa Duke, who was on the call and had to get off the call, or got bumped off the call, she says that only through SPS would she have ever written a book, because I asked them to introduce themselves as well, and she thanks everyone for their support in making this happen, and especially I was Teresa's coach, so she gives me little props there, which is nice. And then Linda, who I'm also coaching actually right now. Linda, so awesome. Everybody here is amazing. I asked, please share in this thread how Team Changemakers and I can serve you best. And Linda says the opportunity to build relationships with other Changemakers is what she's excited about, and she's in awe of others in this group. She's grateful for the individual and group energy, looking to build personal confidence through the support of this group as she enters into this path, writing in her life. Linda is an elected official in her community. She has been serving as an elected official, as superintendent, I believe, on her education, in education in her community, and that is a powerhouse of a woman, let me tell you. Linda Odell is awesome. So, and Teresa's really amazing too. She, as I said, she gave some props for the book, and Teresa's a super special person with a very special story, and I'm excited for her book to be posted on that thread as well, which is coming up soon. So, all right, so we just have a couple more minutes here, and I'm so thank you all for sharing a little bit about yourselves, about what you're excited about here. It's so good to see everyone face to face, live like this. This is just so awesome, and this is just the first of a few of these that we will do. I definitely want to hold one where we can all be live and with a little bit more structure, so that we'll let the other people who weren't able to be live on this one introduce themselves. But as for now, we'll wrap up this session pretty quickly here. But I'd like everybody that's on here right now is a team lead or co-lead. And does anybody at this point have any specific questions about anything regarding the relaunch? Because if you can ask me about the purpose of life, I might be able to come up with an answer for that too. Who knows? But
I have a question about the teams and stuff. Are the teams pretty well, the members, are they cemented now? The ones that are, like, say, on the research, those are the ones that are going to be on the research team? Has that been totally completed?
Melissa, I will let you go ahead and answer that. Oh, yes, she says yes.
Okay. Now, are we ready then, or do we want to wait for you to go ahead and get everybody together before we try to pull our teams together, the two, like we have two co-leads, so have the co-leads get with their individual teams, or are we going to wait for you to get everybody together?
Okay, Melissa says yes. I'm not sure which part she said yes to.
So my recommendation for that would be to get the co-lead together if you have another person on your team, and then decide how you, does someone want to communicate and someone take information? What's the best way that you want to decide who's doing what, and maybe just have a mind map or brainstorming session, and then divide and conquer, and then come back. And I would suggest having really short time so that people, can get it done. And I know Emily Ann has talked about, she likes to work in pockets of time, and that works for her. Someone else may say, I want to spread it out. And but then if everyone just has this idea of, when you want them to get back, and, try to be as specific as possible, then you guys can decide, how to collect that information, how to get it back, how to decipher it if you want to call and follow up. Is it, any way that's going to be most convenient for you. As the team lead, it's got to be convenient for you, and then work through it that way, and then we can get it back to us, and then kind of push it on to the next team. And we're definitely going to work on the done is better than perfect model here, because there's always going to, especially with research and creation, there's always going to be more to be found and more to do, and that's fine, and we can do that as it goes along. But at some point, we're going to say, okay, this is the stopping point, and the next team is going to lead on. And then, as you want to continue to research stuff, or you want to continue to create, then we can move on from there. But in my mind, how it's also going to work is really on compound interest. Every team building on each other, and then as we do like promos and targeting, really building on who's got followings and who's doing what, and then building on other people's strengths and what they're doing. So, like for instance, for Carrie, really engaging people, and then like pushing him and pushing the book, and then it's like a twofold thing. Same with Emily Ann and Cindy, and then as we get Wendy involved in social media, and then Allison, highlight her on the Kickstarter or crowdfunding, whatever way we try to do, but that way it's about the book, and it's about highlighting you as well and the team, and trying to get everyone involved and going in the long process. So kind of a long answer to a short question, but really I would suggest getting that together with the co-lead, figuring out what's going to work best for you, how to you want to divide it up, and then most importantly, like check-in times, like when is it going to be due?
Okay, thank you.
I want to highlight one of the things that Melissa just said that I adore, and it is fundamentally one of the purposes of this team. Anybody who watched the welcome video heard that I label, I saw who was in this group, who responded and everything, and I'm like, oh, shit, this is a bunch of change makers here. So I got to like do something with this. Like we got to do something together, right? And so it made it really apparent to me that that we would be able to build this kind of like web of support system with each other. And one of the things that Melissa said that that I want to highlight that is really important is that as a leader, co-lead in this group, as you give, you're going to be shining in the ways that you best shine in, and we will inherently, it will be this kind of like symbiotic relationship of you promoting in these ways that you're best at and receiving attention to the work that you do best. Just as Melissa, she's a great example. She's stepping in her power as a virtual assistant here for me, and you guys are all seeing, I'm sure some of you are thinking, I want to hire this woman, because like you're all seeing how she's supporting this process and creating so much structure that I was like, at first, having a hard time creating myself. She's stepping in and creating like this bone system here, and just has my back and is doing all this stuff that I would not have been able to do this without her. And in that, she's getting eyes on her work too, So we're all going to be able to benefit. These are going to be mutually beneficial relationships in the work that you're doing, and I really want to keep driving that home, and this is why I keep asking, like, how can we support you and how can we serve you as well, because this is really about all of us here and how much I can give to you individually and collectively as well. So, Susie, great question. Does anybody else have any questions? Jamie?
I do. What is the ideal launch date officially? Do we have like a timeline?
Great question. No, we have not nailed that down yet. I think it's going to be like, Carrie, I'm sorry, Carrie, you and I can talk. Carrie's going to be in another project I'm doing, and I think they are going to overlap after all. So we can talk about that later. But I do think that the relaunch date will probably be a little bit later in May, because, we are going to definitely have we're going to work with the philosophy of better done than perfect, and at the same time we're building a new thing here, and it's going to take a little bit more time than like a launch team. Chandler in the instructions says you get your launch team together like 2 weeks before your launch, and so I was like, cool, I'll do that. Not even close, because we've got to figure all this out as we go, and we really want to make use of everyone's talents and skills in the process, and so we're thinking like a week in each phase is what we're thinking, a week of research, a week of content development, strategy, implementation, things like that.
I was just thinking like a backward design would be ideal just for all the different teams, and as you know, the teacher in me is like, all right, where do I need to end? And I want to move backward from there, and just kind of look at the time frame. So we can say ideally like end of May, I want to be able to work backward from there, especially on the research team, because there are so many different components of it that I want to identify and target each week. So that's all. I was just kind of curious, but that gives a nice time frame.
Right, I agree, and that is kind of what I was sort of doing. And just to clarify, as far as like the research team and stuff goes, and Susie, this will help clarification there too. What we want to do before you guys just jump in and kind of just like spread out some work. Melissa and I believe Allison now too, and Jamie, you're welcome in on that call. Susie, obviously, you're welcome in on that call. We're going to strategize around like what specifically we want you to be researching as we go through these phases, because there will we need this information before maybe we need this information, so that we can kind of be building it.
Thinking that as well, just triaging like what's most important for each team, but yeah, I would love to be on that if you want to.
Absolutely, girl. You too. Look at this. We're gonna have a powwow. We're gonna have another 10-person Google Hangout. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, anybody who feels like they're you'd love to audit it. Nice, Emily. Audit the course. We're all auditing right now, I think. But no, that's great. So, all right, great question, Jamie. Anybody else? Does anybody else have any questions about their roles or responsibilities that are potentially answerable right now? Emily, go ahead.
Yeah, in the short term, I mean, I think I'm the only lead for my group, right? So would a reasonable short-term, like week-long goal for me and maybe any of the other co-leads would be to personally contact the other members of my team? I don't know who they are, so that's like my first thing is.
Yeah, I was looking through your team.
Hey, stranger.
Yeah, right.
Ready to work with me?
Well, I think if you pose it like that, anybody's going to say yes there. Yeah, we'll work with you. But yeah, so basically, the creative team, it's going to be people who the co-lead on that. The thing is that you are going to be design and things like that and branding and everything. So the other co-lead on that team theoretically wouldn't necessarily need to be, developing branding or content as well. They would just need to be able to, help lead the team. Amber, is that something you would be interested in?
I was also going to suggest
Amber's muted.
whoever's in the lead of strategy, it might be good for me to meet with them also after she talks with you or something.
Here's the thing, is that Allison is the lead of strategy, and Allison also does do work like that. Amber just learned how to chat. So if Allison and Allison, you keep typing, but just speak up because I'm having a hard time flashing back and forth between Facebook and here.
I didn't actually want to speak over. Really, at the end of the day, what we need to do is a strategy team. If I can just interject, the strategy team needs to get together. We need to hammer out just a high-level milestone schedule. We also need to ping the group in terms of, just creative angle. and that's going to drive all the content. And I agree with you that it'd be good for us to have a chat because I do creative too. I'm sure you're the more talented one. I'll just kind of
what if you guys okay? How about this? How about how would you two feel about co-leading both teams, where Emily takes the lead on creative work in the creation team, and Allison takes the lead on strategy work in the strategy team?
It's fine with me.
That's fine with me.
I don't think it'll necessarily create that many more hours for you guys. I think it'll just be kind of, because you guys might be able to work more efficiently that way. Wendy, I think, has a thing.
Question. I know. I'm trying to figure out how to chat, and I can't. What I think, and listening to you talking about this, and especially with the creative team, there's going to be, I would imagine you're going to want some a Facebook banner, blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like as Angie and I are co-leaders for this team, so I know there's going to be some things that we would like to have created. Does that make sense? So it's like working backwards, like this is what we need, creative team, make it, and then send it to. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
so I mean, so here's what here's what we want is I think it's important to break it up into teams like Melissa did, so that we don't have too many cooks in the kitchen with each thing. However, of course, they're all going to overlap because they're all interrelated because this is part of one entire process.
Right.
So we're going to have a strategy call to figure out kind of the rollout of all of this after we we'll pick a target relaunch date. We'll work backwards from there. We will create, a list of tasks in between. Of course, we're not going to get it all. Things are going to come up. We're going to readjust. We're going to be flexible. But we're going to do our best to figure that out. And then we'll start delegating tasks to research, creative, and promo can start to have some conversations if needed. But promo and research might not talk for another week or two, right? So it'll happen strategically. Try to stay mostly within your team and reach out to the co-leads of the teams you have questions for when you have questions come up. That all applies to everyone except for Emily and Allison, who you guys will just kind of, I think you guys should think of yourselves as co-leads of both teams, where Emily takes the lead on creation and Allison takes the lead on strategy. And that's cool. I like that is working out that way. I think that's actually a really good combo of people too. Like you guys, I think will really get along. And then, one thing I haven't addressed that I do want to address really quick is Amber's role in all of this. I picked Amber to be, I didn't even know what to call it, but like I was like den mama, cheerleader. I'm not even sure, because obviously everyone here is okay, you were all attracted to me and my weird ass bubbly energy for a reason, right? I'm like, rah, and you're all like, okay, cool. So, which is great. So you all have that in you. And Amber, I feel like Amber is just sort of, I think that Amber has the ability to kind of keep us all there at this higher level. Because when we, I know Cindy gets stressed out sometimes. I know Carrie gets stressed out sometimes. We all get stressed out sometimes, right? And we can either, when we get stressed out and we're taking stuff on, we can either kind of like crumble into this little thing, freak out mode, right? Or we can like use that energy to expand. Bev, who I don't think is on the call right now, Bev is freaking amazing. She says the difference between anxiety and excitement is breath. And so it's just breathe, right? And I feel like Amber's role as den mama, as cheerleader, whatever you want to call it, Amber, you should tell me what you want me to call it, is going to be, she's going to hover over all of the teams, including myself and Melissa, spreading the love, keeping us high, keeping the joy going, keeping the vibes high, keeping us in good places. I think that if you have, Amber's skill is to clear energy blockages, to clear negative energies, things like that. She works in other ways that we can all just kind of bow to. So I think that if we have stuff come up on a personal way, in a spiritual way, in a stress way, whatever you've got going, like, I think that you can reach out to Amber, and I think Amber is going to be, I see her as holding the space for keeping us at this high level. So I see her saying, awesome. You can unmute yourself if you want, Amber. I don't know if you know how, but it's up at the top of your screen. There you go.
Did I do it?
Yes, you did it. You want to say hi?
That's awesome. Oh my goodness, I love all of those words, everything you just said. I feel exactly that way. That was one of the things I was excited about being a part of this, was being able to do that for everyone. And I really do feel like it's mutually beneficial, that symbiotic relationship. And yay, I love it so, so much. And it lifts me every time I lift another person. It's good energy. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Awesome. Cool. So great. So I think we're at 7 now. We did go a little bit over, and you all hung in there. I'm so impressed. Thank you so much. I noticed that Linda said one more thing. Also, Linda just said, so we will be writing a book about our experiences as the Changemakers relaunch team, right? LOL. That's not a bad idea. Who knows where this is going to go, people? I just know it's going somewhere powerful, obviously, for all of us, So we're building something bigger here, and this is one of the stepping stones to get there. So I am so honored to be here with each of you, to be serving you all powerfully in these ways, and thank you so much for showing up in all the ways that you do in your own life, in this project, for the world. Like I said, we are here to elevate the consciousness of humanity. I know this, I feel this, I see this in each of you, I see this in our group, and I'm honored to be leading this group with all of you, and thank you so much for being here tonight. Does anybody else have anything they want to say, any questions, any closing remarks or anything like that? Nope. All right, we all feel complete? All right. Thank you all so much, and have an amazing weekend. And yes, I'm sending love to each and every one of you. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Bye.